Hello everybody, Salty Goldfish here, and we are doing modern flashback, and we're doing triple Mirrodin. Okay, so sort by rarity. Okay, so my immediate pick is to think Solemn Simulacrum is a pretty good creature. Um, these are pretty good, but I don't want to first pick one. And Barter and Blood's a pretty powerful card as well. But I think Solemn Simulacrum's the pick. Uh, Betrayal of Flesh is also a really powerful card. Um, such a weird card there. I'm going to go ahead and take Betrayal of Flesh. I mean, Mirrodin's still pretty old. While there is some strong artifact synergy, it's still a very bread-oriented format. Removal being pretty dang good, because creatures just aren't. You know, I actually want a preview panel up. We can see slightly bigger versions of Hey Sad Robot. The cards. One of the other nice things about Mirrodin is that you get to kind of stay open. I mean, obviously, for my first pick was an artifact, it's basically going to get played every time. Um, Equipment's also kind of bonkers in this block. It's the first time they did it, and it just wasn't balanced at all. Like, Bone Splitter is better than most uncommon equipment they print today. Lockstone Warhammer is uncommon and has been printed at rare and is crazy when it's at rare. So, alright, and while the artifact stuff is good, I'm not quite willing to go in on Ornithopter. What's this do? Player puts a flood counter on target. That's weird. Um, that's just not good enough. I'll just go ahead and grab a seat of the Synod. I mean, it's one of those. Right now. Well, actually, right now I'm like half into playing it. It's like, I don't have any affinity cards, so it's not doing anything. But all right, good old Jotun Soldier. Creatures are so bad it's hard to evaluate them because you keep looking at them through a model lens, going, well, I mean, yeah. But I'm pretty sure, like, this seems okay. I'm gonna go with the Krark. I might not be playing Betrayal of Flesh. I might be splashing it actually. It's still a pretty powerful card. Because even if you know, Wrench Mind, pretty good. All right. Uh, that's. I mean, theoretically, if you start activating that, it's hard to lose the game, but it's so bad. Creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. Untap all creatures you control, entwine. It's not terrible. Um, thinking the seed is not going to make the cut. I don't even. What is like it? Like actually, like what is that supposed to be? I think I have my timer covered. Yeah, it's bad. Um, part of me is like, this card is like normally $1. Do I take it as a? Well, it's normally $1 card. Now we need creatures. Terra is a little weaker than it normally is. Still a relatively solid card. I'm gonna take the gold mirror. I mean, technically, it doesn't produce a color we want, but it does produce colorless. Well, produces generic. And I'd much preferred a iron or I don't even remember what the black one's called. Okay, so question is, do I take Disciple of the Vaults? I think that's the right pick. I mean, the Vault of Whispers is pretty good. Yeah, I think we take the Disciple. I mean, it's a one mana 1/1, which seems terrible, because it is, but there's a lot of artifacts. Um, yeah. I mean, we're pretty heavily. Actually, I'm wondering if those black creatures that got bonuses for your artifacts were actually playable. They seem so bad, but I've never played Mirrodin before. It still seems reasonably powerful. Like, it doesn't seem good, but it seems borderline playable. Now, we are not actually all in on red right now. We only have one red card. And we've seen very little red. So I'm thinking red's not going to be very open in pack 3. It's a weird creature. I mean, this is reasonably meh. It's got to need art. I picked the art. It's also theoretically an artifact, which... Well, that's a rare. Bad cards in the set. Alright. Memorial Mound is better with sacrificing this opponent. Alright. Bone Splinter is pretty... I'm thinking I'm going to take the Bone Splitter. It's pretty darn good. I mean, it's not a Warhammer, but it's a fairly strong card. Would not have minded the Mirror Enforcer, but I think the Bone Splitter's better. I could be wrong there. Especially with as many artifacts as we have, it's quite possible that just having I know I don't want Gilded Lotus. Well, Spike Tello Goblin. Well, now we're definitely red. It's one of the best commons in the set. And Wombo combo with Bone Splitter. Not as much with the Volshot Gauntlets, but Bone Splinter plus him, kind of crazy. Wouldn't mind another like Betrayal of Flesh or Barter in Blood. I'm leaning towards the Wrenchman probably isn't going to make the cut. I mean, these cards are not often great limited. Alright, Lead and Mirror. Nah. I mean, if nothing else, it's a strict upgrade to our white one. And I mean, creatures that tap for mana are never terrible. That seems... I'd rather have the... That seems like reasonable removal. I mean, usually going to give them -2, -2. It's not great. It's not flatten. It's an instant. That's some neat art. Alright, so the question is, do I take Tear? Do I take Blink Mothwell? I mean, tapping target non-artifact creature seems really powerful for a land. I think I'm going to go with the land. And I guess Goblin Replica is a 3-mana. It's a gray ogre that has marginal upside. I mean, yeah, that seems completely fair. And grab another grunt. Sort by converted mana cost, please. Um, I really don't know if this is even remotely playable. I think I'd rather have more Grey Ogres, which is sad. Not really expecting. I don't think I remember passing much, and I was like, "Ooh, I want that." So, I mean, it's weird. I'm like, man, you know, it'd be great a grizzly bear. That's a weird card that eventually just stops doing things. I mean, I mean, it's a 1/4. That's technically better than fire breathing in a lot of ways. Let's take a wrench mind. I do not want to run two of them. I know, but for the sideboard, I guess. I would like to get like six more playables, so I could pull out a couple of the borderline cards. Hmm. No, I'm covering my timer again. Timer's at 0. No, but this person. This is the person passing to us. This person's way behind. All right. I guess that's sort of playable. Um, I would be really sad if I actually had to play that guy. Because, I mean, really, it's a 4 mana 2/1. Like, optimistically, maybe a 3/1. Like, right now, it's the card I'm most likely to cut, but it's sort of in my deck right now. Target permanent you own on the bottom of your library. I guess you could target it. Keep yourself from decking. Yeah. It's a win condition like that. In a game that's gone bizarrely. So I'm wondering if the person right here actually disconnected. Maybe not, because they're pretty far behind. Yeah, they're elves. I don't know why they destroy enchantments, but they do. I think there is an elf that does that, but alright. So, Mesmeric Orb. Whenever a. So that's for the mill plan. Blinding Beam. If I was playing white, it's super powerful. Think I'm taking Electrostatic Bolt. Yeah, I mean, Pyrite Spellbombs are close, but Electrostatic Bolt. Do not expect to see another Spike Shot Goblin. Alright. Imprint. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target card from your graveyard. Prevent all damage would be dealt. It shows a cult. Bizarre. Um. Okay, that's good. I'm wondering if I should take the Talisman or the 3 mana 2. You know what? Actually, I think I want one more piece of equipment. If that ever actually connects, I think I'd rather have it than Wrench Mind. And I was tempted to take that Living Hive and be like, well, I can splash it. It is an 8 mana card. Rust Elemental. So, Dust Prowler, Frogmite. I think we're gonna go with Dust Prowler. It's got evasion. Might get rid of, I think Gold Mirror gets pulled at this point. Um, that's an interest. I'm not sure. I think the Regenerator. And I think I pull one of my less... I'm not sure what I'm pulling for this yet. Possibly the War Wagon. I'm thinking the Malachite column though, because I can't actually activate it. It's weird. Also, I mean, potentially powerful, but requires a very specific. I'm not playing any of these cards. I think I'm just going to take this seat because it's most likely to help someone else at this point, and there's no real harm in hate drafting. Also, the card that's worth like a quarter. Great Furnace is kind of a free pick. That is really slow. That's also weird, but that's sort of a free. I'm not playing any of these cards. I like the foil. It's also potentially pretty good against us. I have a lot of 1 toughness creatures. Dramatic Key is a weird card because that's flash. I'm not sure if I want to run both Disciples of the Vault. I mean, one gives me reach with my 2 sack outlets. I think that's better than Leaden Mirror. I guess no one's playing green. I mean, this seems like if you ever get to cast it, it just sort of wins you the game. I mean, it's stupidly expensive, but so hey, if I could ever get it in my graveyard. I'll take a Molten Rain. Ugh. Mindstorm Crown seems meh. Hey, another last pick disarm. So I think this is what we're going to be running with. I mean, there's a haste. I think that's just kind of. The real question is, I'm wondering about is, do I want to run a second South Firewalker? It seems so hard to actually get them in. I think I'm good. I think this is. Oh, I'm just not happy with this deck, but with so many artifacts, it's hard to tell what colors are actually open.